Hi, I'm Adam with the Thomas Hill Wargamers Club. We're a group of guys who've been wargaming together for over 40 years. Today we're going to take you into the muddy, wet trenches of World War I, where we're squaring off two of the Great War's most famous lieutenants. It's Erwin Rommel versus J.R.R. Tolkien. And while these two did both serve in the Great War, they never did square off against each other. But today we're using Firelock Games' Blood and Valor rules. In those rules, both characters are included, and they're ready to take command.
We're playing this game today on a highly detailed trench war games table that I built out of insulation foam board. The board is 5 foot by 5 foot. It has a winter wet muddy theme to it. It features 1,378 homemade sandbags, 26 feet of trench line, 23 movable barbed wire pieces, 7 finished bunkers, trench signs all over the place, and it has a destroyed church that can be swapped out for an Eastern Orthodox church so that the game board overall theme can be moved from Western Front to Eastern Front. Underneath the church is a command bunker. Of course, you can't have World War I without rats, so there's 28 millimeter rats all over the board. The board also features artillery positions, signal corps complete with carrier pigeons, and much, much more. To create this winter World War I set, we needed figures that fit the theme. Since no manufacturers produce winter World War I Germans, we had to kit bash these figures from a number of companies, including Warlord Games, War Games Atlantic, and Company B Miniatures. We used parts from all these different companies in order to match historical photographs. You can see some examples of the figures in these photos next to their real-life counterparts. For the British troops, we also had to kit bash some figures from these same companies. But luckily, there's a terrific set of British World War I soldiers in winter uniforms produced by Great War Miniatures. The complete set features over 800 miniatures.
The scenario today is a downed pilot scenario, where a British pilot has crashed in the no man's land. The Germans start the game in their own trenches. The British have to move into their trenches, up to the front lines and out into no man's land and attempt to rescue their pilot. Who will command the battlefield, and then who will ultimately be able to get that pilot and either rescue him and bring him back into the British trench line, or the Germans capture him and bring him into their trench line.
Both armies, the British and the Germans, start with the same types of units. They each have 4 units of infantry of 11 men each, 1 trench assault unit, 2 heavy weapons machine gun units, 1 sniper, and 1 3-man command unit.
So what we have here is the Germans in defense in their frontline trenches, expecting an attack when a British pilot comes down and crashes his plane in no man's land. Our objective is to grab the pilot, capture him as the attacker, and grab him and bring him back to our trenches. That's why we have a defense across the entire front. The flanking units will provide covering fire while an assault group grabs the pilot wherever he lands.
So for the British plan, we're going to place the aircraft and the pilot here on our left side in the center of the board so that both machine gun positions can defend it, and that it will make the Germans come on the left flank of the Germans come all the way across the table to try to do anything in the game.
That's right. Focus fire over here, force them to come to us, kill them piecemeal, take control of the table. Let's have a good show.
Righto.
The game begins with the British advancing through their communication trench lines and taking up positions in their frontline trenches. The Germans, of course, are already in their frontline trench. Both commanders move into strategic positions. J.R.R. Tolkien and Erwin Rommel position themselves in the center of their front trench lines. They're doing this to take advantage of a rule in Blood and Valor that allows them a 12-inch command range so that they can help give extra commands to units to fire or to move. This is a good strategic move by both sides. That way they can have better control of their units and better control of the battlefield. As turn 1 continues, Erwin Rommel takes a bold, aggressive, fast move and sends one of his units through the barbed wire directly at the downed aircraft to try to snag that British pilot. The British quickly realize what's happening. They start to throw down all the fire they can, but they still don't have all their units on the front line, so their firepower is decent, but not quite enough. As we move into turn 2, the British continue to throw everything they can at the Germans to try to shake that unit, and they succeed. The German unit is right there with the British pilot. They grab the British pilot, they move back just a couple inches, and then boom, they get hit by the British. The attack is successful. The German unit drops the captured British pilot, and they flee back into the trench line. The British have saved the day for the moment. However, the downed pilot has been moved several inches closer to the German frontline trench, which of course is the goal of this game. Whoever can get that pilot back within their trench lines is the winner. As turn 3 begins, the Germans launch a diversionary attack from their left flank. And then guess what? They send another aggressive attack straight for that pilot right out of their trench lines. The British again are attempting to throw everything they can at the Germans to try to push them back one more time.
You shoot machine gun.
They're doing quite a good job. They're rolling well. The Germans started off the game rolling well, but now the Brits are rolling well. And they succeed a second time to shake another German unit who drops the pilot again and flees back inside the trench. However, during that little scenario, the Germans did succeed in moving that downed British pilot yet a couple more inches back toward their trench line. As turn 4 begins, the Germans decide it's all or nothing. The pilot is within an inch or two of their trench line. The Brits also realize they're in a tough spot. They start sending men over the top. They're going to send men as hard as they can across the trench lines and across no man's land to try to get to that pilot before the Germans can. But it's all for naught. The Germans quickly rush out. Again, Rommel with a very aggressive move, grabs the pilot. They bring him back inside the trench line. And the game is over with a successful victory by the Germans and by Erwin Rommel. Good try, British. Good try, J.R.R. Tolkien.
Extreme aggression by Lieutenant Rommel in the first turn on a brilliant plan, followed by German valor and an amazing amount of luck on the second turn, where no men took hits from machine gun fire, led to a dramatic German victory in turn 4.
An insane saving by the Hun master foiled the British plans.
The foul Germans have defeated us, but they have not won the war.
They can't hit the broadside of a barn.
We hit the barn. You just saved the barn.
You hit the barn and everything else.
Every German was a barn.
You hit the barn, the trees, the trench, everything. You hit no German soldiers.
And then you saved them all.
They will not die.
Thank you for watching our after action report. We are the Thomas Hill Wargamers.